What's up, slackers? Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. I don't know. I just had some crazy OBS issues, and then all of a sudden YouTube didn't want me to go live. Let me know everything's going good. Everything sounds good. You can find me here on YouTube, or you can find me on Twitch too. So either one. We're doing both. Twitch is more for playing around. YouTube, we're gonna not do as many streams, but we'll do a bunch of streams. So we're on a stream rampage at this moment. We've been streaming 3 times in the past week, which is a lot. Oh, but yeah, let me know you guys can hear me. Make sure everything's good because it's been driving me nuts. I finally figured out my issues like 2 minutes before we went live, so it was a little I don't know, a little weird. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit blurry for a bit. It should be fine. Out of focus. Why do you look green? It's because of the light. I'm greenish. I gotta replace that light. I don't know. I was trying to find a decent light and I just haven't found it yet, so. We're kind of slacking. Can you guys hear me though? Like, make sure everything should get ready or get better and. Oh, yeah. But yeah, it's a little bit tough. But yeah. Yeah, I might be a little bit blurry, but it's all about the board, right? Is it raining? Oh, no, it's supposed to be raining by me. I actually forgot about that. We're supposed to get a bunch of storms. I was actually out on the boat last night, all over, pretty much until like 2 a.m. last night. We were trying to do some fishing, and unfortunately, it was pretty nasty out. And one of the biggest problems that we saw last night was the red tide in Florida. I don't know how much you guys follow red tide, but basically it's a lot of dead fish. There's an algae that basically kills a lot of fish. So where we were, there was tons of fish coming through dead, and it was like there's no point in fishing. It was pretty windy out. I mean, we were getting hammered, like by the wind wise. Not I don't drink anymore, so nothing like that. But yeah, it was pretty exhausting. So I was up till around 2 a.m. That's why we didn't stream earlier today, because I woke up and I was like, so exhausted, because I was out from like about 12 hours on the water, which is quite ridiculous. So I know, Mr. Sheriff, I will get you what you need, but you gotta give me some slack time first, okay? Oh, we were pretty much fishing for anything. We wanted to just like see whatever we can get, but it was pretty much we didn't see anything that was live, like live fish. So, but anyways, I don't want to take it up just talking about fishing and stuff. It was just really bumming me out because seeing a lot of dead fish and there's pretty much no reason, you know. Do comments on Twitch come through on your screen? Yes, on Twitch. So basically how it works is I have comments on both. So if you're on both of them, you can pretty much talk to me either way. So the whole point of doing Twitch is to get like an extra part of revenue to just jump on. It's a little bit better for streaming. I don't have to create a bunch of YouTube thumbnails. And I know you guys like the thumbnails. I mean, you love to see the beard and stuff. But yeah, it gets a little I don't know, exhausting sometimes, like when you can't come up with an idea where you have like a YouTube thumbnail block. So it makes it just a little bit easier so that way I can give you content. And I know you guys just want content and more content and more content. So it's about time we give you all the content you want, right? So, yeah, sugar nitrates from the Everglades runoff causes... here's the thing. So the red tide was basically coming south. The winds were basically going like this and blowing the red tide completely into where we live around here, in pretty much in Pinellas County. So it stinks to see that. I'm big on the environment. Like when I'm out there, I clean up trash and pick up stuff. I don't like seeing people throw out stuff. If you throw out stuff and I see you, I will confront you. That's just how I am. I want to protect the waters because, I don't know, I love the water. I'm a Viking. I need a ship. So, I don't know. We'll save that for another conversation, but the green. Turn on some more lights. You guys are killing me. The warm white balance. Yeah, the problem is it's the actual light, and I gotta replace the light. Yeah, all because of man's negligence. I'm in Hillsborough, but you know my address. No worries, Broski. But yeah. So it's I don't know. I don't want to get too much on the red tide thing, but just say like it bums me out quite a bit. I was kind of sad to see all of it, but yeah, that's why you make sure like if you're gonna be out on the water, make sure you protect the water. Don't do something stupid. Don't put plastic in the water. Make sure you throw out stuff that you bring on there. I mean, just do what. Keep it nice for everybody. Your children, Jack sees you, he's probably gonna end up saying something to you too. So. So how do I feel today? I feel exhausted, to be honest. Absolutely exhausted. You guys just want me to change the white balance. Okay, I'll change the white balance. Just give me a second, okay? It's funny because it doesn't look that bad on my side, but whatever. Dun dun dun. The problem is I'm so used to the other camera. That's usually what that problem is. Let's see. Funny, can you guys see that? No, it actually goes. It's kind of funny now. So you guys are gonna make me do this. I should have done this before, but like I said, I'm exhausted. I might not even do it because it's taking too much time right now. I don't actually remember. I'm gonna pull up the focus there. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Let me just change the light a tiny bit. I want to replace this light because you can only do so much with it. It kind of pisses me off, actually. Here. Let's see. Now you're going to get that blinking. Ugh. It drives me nuts about it. This is why I don't really use these lights too much. So it's not too strong. Maybe that will help a little bit. Otherwise, you guys are just going to have to deal with it. Looks a little bit better. It's kind of a pain because when you start messing with stuff, it's going to go a little bit crazy. All right, so I guess we're ready to start. If they're blinking, this light drives me nuts. It's time to, you know what, but next time, I'm buying a light later. I'll let you guys know what it is, because this is going to drive me nuts. I like to buy equipment. I should start doing camera review stuff, because it drives me nuts on some of the hardware that you can get. That just doesn't work pretty well at all. There we go. Now we see white, not halogen. Yeah, I know. I kind of like it, though. But anyways. So let's get up to the whole point. So, yeah. Look what we got here. Now, I can't show you the other side. Not my fault, but we have the 64-core Ryzen Threadripper. It's pretty damn cool. You a Hellcat guy? Actually, I do like Hellcat. I'm down. I'm down with the Hellcat. Let's see. You're a fan of Amazon, didn't you? Because I bought the same one on Amazon. Get that fan. What fan are you talking about? Oh, that fan? Yeah. That's like one, I don't know. I don't even know why it's there. I was using it to like kind of just get some airflow in here because it tends to be a little bit stagnant sometimes. And see, now that I messed with that light, it's going to annoy me the hell out of me all the time. Now you know why I don't touch stuff. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try to see if I can close off some of the light so it's not so intense. Because if it gets too intense, that should be fine. Hello, bearded guy. What's going on? What is going on? It's not all green at all on YouTube. I wonder if it's something that has to do with Twitch. See, now it's bright. Let me try to direct it a little bit. See, you guys got me down the damn rabbit hole again. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of good right there. So we're going to keep with that. 64-core lanes. Not sure what you mean by that. Tell us that custom build next to you. You like this custom build? It's still not done yet. I wanted to work on it this weekend, but to be honest, I was so exhausted from 12 hours on the water yesterday. And I was supposed to go out on Friday, but I actually messed up my whole boat thing. I have my boat in a high-end dry now, so I can basically go down and they just take it from the inside and they put it in the water. But you have to be there at a certain time, and I totally butchered it. I was streaming with you guys on Friday, and I missed my boating, so... But yeah. Are you going to resurrect that overboard V10 in your Viper? Oh my goodness! I knew someone was going to mention that today, because I was I was actually talking to Matt Field. If you don't know who Matt Field is, he's a badass Formula Drift racer, and I've known him for like quite a long time. So he hit me up, and if you watch Formula Drift racing, a huge fan. I actually used to travel with a bunch of the buddies that owned a team, so we used to go to like all the Formula Drift races and stuff. So, but yeah, Matt asked me to build a machine for him. So, just that's gonna be cool. So that's gonna be something that's coming up within the next couple weeks. We're gonna do a couple vlog builds on it. So, expect that. It's gonna be cool. But yeah, the Viper. He was actually busting my balls about the Viper. So. We got to do something with that. I got to go over there and kind of play around and see what's going on with it, because my buddy is slacking on it. So we got to go check it out and see what's going on. By the way, people, the slacker doesn't mind super chats. Just saying. Well, what I really like is likes. We need to get likes so that way we share the streams. Get everybody streaming, talking about it. That's what we do here, right? So, what's in the formula? I don't even know what that means. But anyway, so what we have, what's in the formula? Now I got it. I'm a little slow on that one. So this is my buddy's machine that I've been building for a while, but I keep on running into issues, either not being able to get parts or the certain parts that I have. But it's pretty much all built now. It's we have all Thermaltake equipment. It's part EK, part Thermaltake. It's just basically what I can get at the time for this build. So. The only thing I had left is that the board we bought didn't have RGB in it. I explained this in the other stream, but I might as well explain it again. Basically, since there's no RGB on the motherboard, there's nothing that I can do to control the RGB. So, a couple of people over at my Discord, so if you, here, I'll say that in a second, but over at my Discord, there's a bunch of people. I was like, man, I need a decent controller, because I had bought like a couple controllers, not realizing that they weren't actually controllers, but they were actually pass-through. So a couple people have hit me up on this on the Razer Chroma. I don't know. So this is what we're gonna use, because I have a couple RGB things to control. I don't want to really tell you too much, because I want to fire this beauty in all of its glory. Basically there's a flag on the GPU that's gonna light up. The EK US flag is a special edition that we got. It helped to support Shellback Tech. So. All about helping veterans and stuff. So, we got basically two 360 rads in here. We got an EK reservoir and pump, EK AMD block. We have, I think it's I want to say it's a 3600X or a 3700X. I kind of forget at this point. But I need to fire it up and tell. But then we're running a 1070 with a Fantex water block. So everything runs crisp and cool. Runs super quiet. So, all right. So, but yeah, what I wanted to talk to you about next was Discord. So, when you need help with a PC and you don't really have anybody to talk to, and you don't want some toxic guy telling you that you bought the wrong thing, basically, if you go to Patreon and sub as a Patreon, you get access to Discord. And in Discord, we have a great group of slackers. The slacker army is in real effect over there. They can help you out with any of your PC building needs. So if you need some help and you're kind of stuck on what you need to do, come over there and join us. Those guys are great. Those are the guys. I'm doing these streams for them. These streams are for them because, you know, they're always over there basically give me enthusiasm, telling me to get off, quit slacking, and to stream. So here I am with you fine folks, but come and join the community, the Slacker OC Army. Come and join. So, but anyways, yeah, let's hit them likes. Come on. We got about 100 people. Let's get the likes up. Get the likes up on YouTube, man. Come on, man. All right. So 64 cores ought to be for everyone. Enough for everyone? I don't think so. I want some 128 cores. I wish they had that. They probably will one day. I just have no idea how we're gonna cool it. Actually, I do. You see this pot right here? So the whole point of this stream right here is to basically get Threadripper up and running, right? So if you watched a couple of my other streams, what I do before I go to the liquid nitrogen, I mean, it would be nice to just, hey, let's just put this thing on there. and go for it, and let's do it. But you never want to waste liquid nitrogen like that. You want to make sure everything's running right. You want to get your drivers installed. You want to basically get everything running and dialed in before you get to going using liquid nitrogen. Because liquid nitrogen is expensive. We don't want to just waste it, right? We're not about wasting things. We're about using it to its fullest, right? So, glad you're streaming, man. I might have to join the army. Might have to is not good. You're slacking, brother. Alright. Let's see. They do in the Epic line. I want 64,000 cores. Oh, yes. I wish that... You never know. Maybe one day. I ever started watching Steven Bildroid when you were a guest on Steve's stream for the original 2700X LN2 content. I was like, well, shit. Where is more of Joe at? Yes, I know. People always complain that I don't do enough content, so we're going to be doing content now. So I don't want to hear it anymore. We're just going to keep going crazy with content. Okay? You happy now? No, it's just, sometimes real life gets in the way. I work pretty much an intense job. I work in IT security for 20 years. So it's kind of tough, especially when work throws you curveballs. We had a guy that was let go, so I was kind of basically forced to take an upper role to make sure everything's going. And for me to feel comfortable, I had to put in a lot of extra hours. So I'm kind of over that now, though. So trying to slow down a little bit, take the pace down, and that way I can do my work, and then I can also slack with you guys. So things are changing. Things are changing quick. So make sure you subscribe to everything and follow me. And just watch along and have some fun. Oh, yes, InfoSec. 20 years of this. It drives you nuts. I was actually working maybe about an hour ago doing patching, which is like, it's awful. But you have to do it. You want to make sure everything is basically rolling. Mark Spark, never mind then. What is never mind then? I must have missed your message, broski. Hey, feel free to go again. It's hard to keep up with all the messages, so make sure if I don't answer you once, keep asking. I don't mind. All right, let's see. My uncle has a machine shop. He has a 600 pounds of dice. No kidding. Hey, he said I can have all the leftovers? Dude, you better be on a bench tear when you can, man. That would be awesome. All right, we hit it over 100 likes. See, you guys are awesome. Hell yeah, 100 legs. King Tilly, what's up, slacker? Oh, yes, I love it there. What do you love? What? Alright, so I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna change a couple things. Cloud security now, but it's been the compliance and oh man, compliance is tough, dude. Alright, so I'm gonna move this one over a little bit. Oh no. Sorry, I'm still getting used to trying to take over or try to understand like what's going on with both of the stuff, so oh come on. Hold on one sec. For some reason, every time I try to do chat, so I'm using a special utility, but it kind of works with OBS, so it causes a bunch of problems. So still newbie on some of this new stuff, but I'm trying to get you there. Trying to get your stuff. Please don't go in there. Damn OBS. Okay, we're just gonna put this over here. All right. Yes. So now I can see. What's going on over at Twitch. Sorry, guys. If I missed you a little bit, it just goes too quick. So I'm trying to, you have to refresh it a little bit. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, Denny BS, you working on your struts or what, buddy? I saw your message there. I was just busy trying to get all the patching done. And then I started having crazy OBS issues, which I finished that too. So, but enough talking, or I guess less talking about that stuff, and kind of let's start digging into the cool stuff, right? But yeah, let's, so the last time, I know I showed you guys a 64 core a couple months ago, but one of the reasons why we didn't do anything with it is because when I went to actually put it in, I spent a whole weekend on it. It's one of the things that you guys don't see, and that's kind of what I want you guys to start seeing, is basically what goes through like the normal day-and-day stuff. I know sometimes it can get boring, but I'll talk our ways through it, so it shouldn't be too bad, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know why it's strange. It's working different than I had it working the other day. But anyway, so I actually originally got in a 64 core from AMD, but it didn't work. So it would basically stop on post, and I thought it was me doing something wrong, to be honest. So what I ended up doing is I ended up going using like 3 or 4 different boards, because at first I thought it was the board issue. And then I thought it was a mount issue, because if you know, with Threadripper, we have this crazy mounting system, which is actually pretty much better than the Xeon type setup that Intel is using. But it's kind of a pain. It's very similar. Like, you have to kind of play around with it and to get it working. So it's a little bit exhausting. So, but yeah, it ended up turning out to be, I thought it was maybe I didn't have the right BIOS. I switched boards, and then I kept on having I went through 3 different Threadripper boards, and no matter what, I could only get my 32 core to work. And now, if at first I was only kept on trying the 64 core, and then I was like, you know what? I need to try the 32 core and try to make sure that works. And then I ended up finding out that the chip wasn't good. So I reached back out to AMD, and AMD actually sent me another 64 core. So I don't know. We might have to cross our fingers on this one to see if it works, but I'm sure those guys are great over there, so I'm sure it will work. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, so this is definitely, is this the 3990X? Yes, this is the 64 core. This is the 3990X. This isn't anything that's newer that nobody else has. Remember, guys, it's tough with NDAs and stuff. Sometimes, usually when you see something, everybody's going to show it, but at least I'm going to show you the 64 core today, and then we're going to keep on pretty much going with this. So again, this is not going to be a liquid nitrogen stream, but this is just going to be a setup stream. This is going to be setting up Threadripper, going through, installing the OS, kind of the basic stuff that most people don't really know, or they've only done it a little bit, or if they're not confident in it, this is, I don't know, maybe it'll give you some confidence in it, you know? And then you can always ask questions, we'll talk through it, and I don't know, we'll just go from there. Oh boy, don't blow it up. Well, we might, I don't know, we might jinx it. So, you might be asking why, okay, so why do you got this pretty, beautiful, absolutely killer liquid nitrogen pot on here? So, well, what I found out is with Threadripper, it's easy to test with this big metal piece on there, just to see if you got the mount right. Because what you gotta do is you kind of have to, I don't actually have a tool, so I just use my hands. But even with the tool, I find, like, depending on how the socket is, because someone was yelling at me because they were like, why don't you use the Threadripper screw? It's perfect. You'll never mess it up. Well, my socket was messed up, so I couldn't use that. So what it came down to is I had to kind of balance it out and try to figure out why, or a way to be able to go through it. So, but yeah, but we might as well explain this pot too, because to be honest, it's so badass not to talk about. In my opinion, it's definitely the baddest liquid nitrogen pot, or liquid nitrogen cooler out. So we pour liquid nitrogen in this to tame this beast. So the whole reason why I got this pot is for this chip. So we need to quit slacking and get on it, right? So what we're gonna do first, though, is I think we'll play with the 32 core just to get the BIOS going, to make sure we're updated on the newest BIOS and everything. And then we'll move on to the 64 core. So you can kind of see the process. I just want to make sure it works. Ugh, fingers crossed, because you never know. One thing I need to find, I need to get a tool set. So before I do that, I also want to talk about the other thing. So how are we going to cool this when it is actually running? So I want to show you guys one of my favorite coolers. Now, I know you've seen this on Linus's page before. It's the Ice Giant. I swear. You think I should sue? It looks like me on it. Does it not look like me? All I gotta do is put my Viking helmet on, and I feel like all of a sudden, I don't know. We may have to sue. Not really, but yeah, this is one of my favorite coolers, and for something like 32 core or the 64 core, this thing hammers. Like, it's very, to be honest, I was really blown away being able to do like 4.5 times SPI extreme on the 32 core on air cooling. Like, this is pretty much like having this cooling setup in this. It's wild. Like, it's a small package. You don't need much. Like, it's kind of fascinating how cooler technology has been changing so much. But, I mean, if this can handle Threadripper, it can handle anything. But it actually works really well with higher wattage, so like the hotter the better. It's an amazing cooler. So we're going to go over putting that on, but first we're going to make sure everything works before we tighten everything down on there. From what I've found is that when you tighten Threadripper up, you can tighten the socket up and then put the cooler on. So that way you don't have to worry about putting the cooler on, because this cooler can be a little bit of a pain to put on. It's pretty heavy. Like, I don't know. It almost feels like you have a complete water cooling box inside this. That's how heavy it is. So if you're going to put it in a case and stuff, make sure you mount it good and use pretty much a good setup. Ice Giant TechOdin edition. Can't even say my own name. It's kind of funny. Behind the camera right now, I have a fly that is just annoying me big time. It's been flying around the house all day. I'm going to get him. But yeah. So, I kind of lost track of what I'm at. I think somebody asked what motherboard we're using. So, what we're using is the, can you guys see? To a point, you guys can see. So, this is the ASRock TRX 40 Tai Chi, which is an awesome board, especially for overclocking. You can tell with the VRM coolers, this thing is like almost as heavy as this. Like, it's a big brick. It's a awesome hunk of PCB and cooling. It's pretty badass. So I've always bought this. I bought this board originally just for OC. I wanted to use it. If you look at some of my old streams where I was like totally confused where I wanted to build my box, I was originally going to use this board, but it didn't have enough PCIe slots. It has 3x16 and then a 1x, which to me it blows my mind that there's not more 416x motherboards for the TRX 40 platform, which I didn't even realize until I actually went to sit down on the board and play with it. But for overclocking, dude, this board has a stellar VRM and is perfect for all of this. Now, when I build out my machine, so I haven't told you guys, like, I kind of went, when I was originally going to use this board, I kind of like was just going to put something together temporary, and I had something big in the background, or I was thinking for what I really want. So I ended up going with an X16 board because of this board. And what I wanted to do is basically get like a bifurcation. I don't even know if I said that right. Bear with me, I'm tired. But what I want to do is actually have multiple streaming cards in here. I want to have a couple different things, because I'll be using this for editing, streaming, pretty much mining. Like when I don't usually when I'm not doing something, I always throw in a couple cards and, hey, crypto, why not mine a little bit, use some power and get some money, if you know what I'm saying. So nice denim back there. You guys stop like sneaking. This stuff's supposed to be hiding over here. No, so the denim is, I have these two big speakers that are Klipsch. And I've literally had them sitting over in the corner, like, probably for 2 years now. And I was like, you know what? I need to hook them up. So I ended up ordering the Denon. And that way I can have pretty much music going and stuff. I'm just not sure. I need to find some decent music, because I feel like I was getting in trouble with the streaming platforms when I used it. I think that's one of my issues that I have, that I'm trying to figure out. It's hard to get much info from YouTube. They don't really get specific on, like, if you mess up on something. So it's trying to figure out a bunch of stuff. But yeah, take a brown paper bag, stuff it with whatever, and tie the top up and hand it on the porch. What are we talking about here? Oh, problems with bumblebees. Huh. Okay. Lost my train of thought. Nerds. Is that Howard? You gotta love nerds, man. I'm the king of the nerds. That's why they call me TechOdin. Alright, so let's start plugging in power. The power supply we're going to use is the Corsair AX1600i. Now, this particular unit I got from, I don't know, if you guys have been in the PC industry for a while, there's a guy that's basically been doing power supply reviews forever. And I mean, when I say ever, internet famous, what's up, sucker? So basically, he ended up going to work for Corsair. And he personally reached out to me, this is a couple years ago, and basically sent me this AX1600i. So I trust this oh man, I can't talk. But I trust this power supply. I know it works well with Threadripper. One of the big things that you guys don't really realize with Threadripper, especially the 64 core, it is a monster. It likes to pull CPU voltage like crazy. So you need to make sure, if you're going to do something similar with this setup, and you have a setup like this, man, make sure you have one of the best power supplies. So, highly recommend the Corsair A1600XI. Or is it XI or I? Hard. Oh, bees are our bros. You guys are crazy, bro. Let's try to keep the cursing to a minimum there, slackers. We're trying to see. We're not trying to get flagged. Yes. Well, I love when people try to call you a dumbass. It's kind of funny, actually. Yes. Oh, look at this. Someone guessed it. It's Johnny Guru. I was waiting for somebody to guess on that. So Johnny Guru was basically the one that gave it to me. So when Johnny Guru basically gives you a power supply, you use it. That's just the #1 rule, right? Yes, I love my axe. My axe is actually from one of my followers. I don't know where he's been lately, but he got me that for a while. We have to have that on there. So if I can buy it. Oh, yes, I know. It kind of stinks that it's hard to buy stuff right now. I know it's so toxic out there. It drives me nuts, too. It's one of the reasons why I haven't been streaming lately either. So we're going to try to change that, though. I'm trying to, I don't know, raise awareness. I want some positivity flowing through YouTube. So this is or basically positively everywhere. So that's what I'm all about. That's what we're doing now. So I don't know. Let's get to it. So let's see. What do we do first? We got to plug in this PSU. Again, when Johnny Guru gives you a PSU, you use it. So what we got to do here is we're going to plug in the two 12-volt EPSs. Yes, you will have problems if you don't plug them both in. What's interesting about this motherboard, there's one right here and then one right here. So when you're running your CPU voltage, it's a little bit different than the other platforms. So bear with me as I try to get this together. Because what we'll do is we'll do some post tests first. That's usually what I do before I put the cooler on. That's why we have the liquid nitrogen pod on. What is going on here? Always technical issues whenever you're doing streams. Whenever you do this stuff by yourself, you never have issues. It's just the laws of streaming. Things just like to break for no reason. This is what sucks. I have big hands too. I mean, Corsair, Seasonic, and EVJ use the same OEM of Superflower if you want to boil it down to brass tacks. That's technically not true, actually. Some do and some don't, and they use different models, actually. The things that people don't really realize when it comes to power supplies is that most of them are made by the same manufacturer. Some aren't. So just because like one company has a bunch of like Superflower doesn't mean all of them, like all of their lines have them. You'd be surprised how much they separate the lines out. One will do one, and then sometimes another manufacturer will take the other one. So it's kind of weird. So, but yes. Trying to keep up with this. BS, hey slacker, good to see you back, brother. Load up the board with 256 gig of RAM. Well, that's one of the cool things about Threadripper. We're not going to actually load up that much RAM. We're going to do 8 gig sticks. So, if you see right here, we have the G-Skill Trident Z's. Now, what we're going to do with this is, so, one of the reasons why I put the cooler on is that I want to test it that it posts. But the other thing is, too, is to make sure that I can get all access to memory. Because if you have the cooler unbalanced, what will happen is you'll actually lose access to memory. So it's kind of a pain. Let's do this. I'm just going to put one module in first. We'll play around and work from there. Because if we do have issues, we can at least then post and get something going. Because I know you guys are sick of me talking right now. They're like, come on, Let's do some tech stuff. I feel ya. I feel ya. All right. But now you can't see anything, right? Nope. You can still see a couple things. I think next time I'm gonna have to switch cameras. So this is my A7 A7 III. I'm gonna switch over to my other camera because it tends to do autofocus in better. And I had that out yesterday because I was trying to take pictures and stuff. So I guess I kind of messed up for this one. But next time, that's why we do streams. We're gonna be doing more and more streams. So we can fix these things as we go. But the sole purpose is to get Threadripper running right now. So we're plugging in power. We just did the two 12 EPS voltages. Let's see. I think that's it. And what we'll do is we'll use the pot for now, so that way it gets all the cooling it needs from the pot itself. That way you don't burn out the chip. Most of the time it probably wouldn't burn out the chip. It just wouldn't boot. But alright, so it looks like we turned it on a little bit. It looks like it's going on, and of course, we're going to have to move the GPU all around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the GPU closer, because it looks like they put all the power slots in the last slot. So, let's see. Ruh-roh. Let's see. Make sure. Where is that BIOS thing? Right. Yep, and this is why we do these things. So what I'm going to do, and I'll show you how I test. It's kind of be like what we did, what I showed you last time. Or not last time, but in the video. We'll test out. So what I'm going to do is take the GPU out. I want to see something on the post screen. If you see right now, I'm not getting anything on the post screen. So that basically isn't good. So what I got to do is I got to get a screwdriver. So bear with me. Shouldn't take long. Where's my other one? There it is. Taking my nice iFixit kit. Works great. OC3D. I don't even know what we're talking about. What's OC3D? Big difference from two. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But yeah, so let me get this going. Oh, that would be why. Yeah, it's not really tight. So. Let's put this over here for now. Says Asus been reusing the GP cooler over and over. I have an RX 480 with that cooler. Well, that's what a lot of the manufacturers do, is they reuse and reuse, and it gets them into trouble sometimes. I don't know if you guys remember when the X299 came out, and all they did was have issues. It was kind of almost comical because you saw who was actually building proper coolers. Because if you guys remember, it was basically, not that they were catching on fire, but they were basically overheating, and then it was limiting all the clocks. So let's try this. Undo. This is the fun parts of Threadripper. Now, if I know you guys, what you're saying is going to be like, well, why don't you have the tool? Well, to be honest, no one ever sent me a tool, so technically I don't have one, and technically I don't care. You see? Look at that. Now we're posting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this back in again. It's always the fun stuff, right? The trick is to not ever be stressed out about it and just take a deep breath, roll with it. Things happen, man. It's just how life goes, right? I guess I can't say that on YouTube. There's a thing that life's a beach and then you die. Something like that. Something to that. All right. That's kind of funny. It went to 0, this time. I wonder if there's not enough on one side. Hold on. There we go. The fun points of Threadripper. This is probably going to be most likely a troubleshooting stream, more than anything, but... I wonder if that has to do with memory. So, I don't remember the layout on this board. I probably should have read the manual. But depending on how you have memory laid out, sometimes you'll get post issues because of it. And if you guys don't know already, Threadripper is basically quad, or is it dual channel or quad channel? I think it's quad channel. Yeah, quad channel. What happened there? Oh, wrong button. Let's try a couple different things. It's your mount, Slacker. It's always the mount, Slacker. That's the fun part. I'm doing this all with you guys, so you get to enjoy my own personal hell. The trick is, you gotta just play around with it. Because I've even noticed if you actually do use the tool, because I actually have used the tool before, but what happens is that it I don't know, it doesn't seem to, sometimes, depending if the socket is not right, it will cause a little bit of issues. So, let me see. If I remember correctly, let's try that. You know, the easy ways, we use a couple different modules. You gotta love the troubleshooting life. It's called the slack life. What am I missing over here? Are we missing anything? What's going on, Slackers? Make sure you like and follow me on YouTube or Twitch. Let me see here. I want to make sure. Nothing but D0. This is the one thing that stinks about having big hands, because you can't. I literally can never put anything in there. So, you know what? With all this troubleshooting, I'm not going to play with the 32 core. I thought I want to say that I actually had it all worked out last time I checked, but I guess not. So, what we'll end up doing is we're just going to go to the 64 core and play with that. There's no reason to play with 32 cores since we're going to be doing this stuff. It's a tiny heatsink. What are you talking about, tiny heatsink? Who are you talking about? It's a long time since we last saw you come up live. Well, I don't know why you guys didn't see me last week, because I was live last week on YouTube. You guys are slacking. I don't know. I feel like YouTube didn't, I don't know. Maybe I haven't been in there in a while and YouTube just said, we forgot about you. We forgot about the slacker. Who knows? But I'm here now, and that's all that matters. Let's clean this off. If you guys have never seen, if you've never heard me or seen me talk about this stuff is amazing. If you want to clean off paste, say you get paste in the socket, say you get paste in the memory slot, all you need to do is spray your life away. So that's what we're doing now. We're just going to clean up the top, because I don't know about you, but whenever I clean up paste, I feel like I get paste all over. I end up in the beard. It kind of gets a little bit ridiculous right now. So, go gadget beard. Yeah, notifications didn't go out. That's what I don't know what's going on. No one can slack harder than me, broski. Joe's the king slacker. No one can slack harder than Joe does. I love it. Yeah, I noticed after the fact the guy I talked to told me I should have grabbed the Tomahawk, but they didn't have any time. I went for the upgrade. Yes, Tomahawk, I know, trust me. There's times when I want to take my axe, like that one back there, and just go crazy. I think we're going to have to do that one day. Would you guys like that? Me taking an axe to some hardware? I know, trust me, sometimes I like to do that all the time, to be honest. It would be nice if it wasn't so expensive and you could get it easier, you know? But, unfortunately, that's just how it is right now. Hardware is hard to get, but it almost seems like prices are relaxing a tiny bit. It's not, I don't know, someone was telling me that a little bit of the 3090 prices have come down a bit. It seems like some stuff is coming up, but it's still not going to be like what it was years ago. Or not years, I don't know, it's so weird to say. This is always nerve-wracking. Because Threadripper, remember, anybody remember when Roman dropped it and ruined the board? I can't say that I haven't done that. We always risk doing that. Let's see. The CPU looks nice from behind. If you notice, this is the one that we lapped on Gamers Nexus channel. So this is not the 64 core. This is the 32 core. Any news on the 3090 KP? No news. I'm not sure why. What are you asking for news? Is there something wrong with it? I haven't benched the KP 3090, and I probably won't, to be honest. I do want to give you a little news on something else, and that's more or less that we will be doing 3090 stuff, but that's the only hint that I'm gonna give you. So I had to go back and test a bunch of BIOS stuff to get the Strix going, because I don't know, for some strange reason Asus doesn't want to, I don't know, it doesn't seem like they're all that interested in providing a decent BIOS, like a rebar BIOS, you know? So I don't know what the deal is, but I've had to try to basically make a bunch of other ones work. So we're gonna try to do that, but I have a special surprise, but we're not gonna go over on stream about it. You guys are gonna have to wait for that and keep following. That's how I get you, if you know what I'm saying. So let's see. Let's put this on here. That way we're troubleshooting with the 64 core. No reason to mess with the other one. So let's get in here. I'm gonna populate these two. I think the outsides are it. If anybody wants to go jump on ASRock's site and try to figure it out, we'll just do this. Threadripper's always fun to play with. Ooh, look at that, just switching. First time. Look at that. See? Sometimes you gotta have look. Sometimes if... yeah. Let's try that. So let's plug it back in. Let's see what's going on with that. And what I do, I lost the monitor cable over here. Let me get this so you guys can see. Oy. That way I can show you what I'm doing. I mean, it's kind of fun to hide it from you, but it's more fun to show you what I'm doing. Let's see. It's tough with big hands, man. Especially with tech. It's one of the reasons why I wasn't ever a mechanic either. Because trying to fit these monsters in some way just drive you nuts. What did you need for TRX Tai Chi manual? Memory layouts for certain DIMM configs. That's exactly what I need right there. Yep, 3 months later, new board. Yep. I got a notification for this stream and the last one. Well, you better watch the last one, Slacker. I'm glad you're here again. Always appreciated. Let's see. Can we finally get a post? That's what's driving me nuts. Yeah, I think we're good. 62 usually means that the monitor's booting up, but that probably means that something's wrong with the monitor. Hold on one sec. I don't know. This monitor tends to have some issues where HDMI just falls out of it. It's kind of annoying. But let's see. Do we get it? I might reset it a couple times. We might also have issues with OBS. OBS was acting weird. So what I'm using for a stream on here to stream the actual video is I'm using the EVGA stream box, but I've been having weird issues with it. I don't know what's going on with it, but definitely having some weird issues. So let me see if I can unplug it. That would help. It almost looks like the USB is all. The monitor needs to catch all them bits being thrown at it. Yeah, I know. The problem is it looks like the cord was a little bit messed up. So let's see. Let's try it again. Sometimes I like to switch things around all the time and then I mess myself up. It's pretty typical. What do we got? 61. Come on, let there be screen. See, let me go over here, check OBS for a bit. I thought we had something there for a second. I think just give me 1 second. I have to fix, for some reason the EVGA thing keeps dropping out every time. I don't know what the deal is, but it's been happening quite a bit. So what I'm going to do, just give me 1 sec, guys. Just going to go over there. Now, to be honest, I actually use a couple different things. I actually like the Elgato's. And I never have this issue with them, so I don't know what is going on with this one. I might just have to stop using it. I think we're good there. So let me just make sure which one's what. Alright, so this one's connected here. I hate playing musical stuff. Yeah, we should be good on that one. Oh, I see what the issue is. It pulled out. There we go. This thing's probably getting hot. Yeah, what happened was I must have pulled the plug out of it. Didn't even realize it, so this should work. What are we on? Which screen are we on? Okay, good. Come on, load up, baby. There we go. Look at that. That's the nice part. My card will post the screen if power cable isn't. There it is. Oh, look at that. So you can actually see the memory too. The only thing is right now I want to see how hot it's getting. And I gotta stop. I need to move this keyboard. Whoa. Sweet. Alright, we'll do that. Feeder card needs a second power. Actually, no, this card does not, because it's only a 1070, so it only needs one. I got you. Alright, so let's see. We're probably running really hot, so. Oh yeah, this thing's hot. Don't do this at home, guys. 60C is not good for your CPU. So that's good. Well, what I'm going to do is, so now we're posting, so that's the good part, right? The next part is, so now that we know it's working, I want to make sure and test every memory module to make sure they're working. Just watch the beard, right? And we're going to put, I did the outside, so that seemed to like it. And sweet. So now we got all 4 modules. What I'll do is I'll get a little bit of LN2 so that way you can keep it cool. Don't get too excited over here, guys. Oh, where is my glass? Actually, we'll just do a cup. We don't need much. It's always nice to have a little bit of juice on hand. Anybody care for a drink? Alright, so we're just going to pour a little bit in there. I don't even have a temp meter on it, so I'm not too worried about it. It should cool it enough. This thing cools super quick. Like, this is a liquid nitrogen pot like no other. There is no other one that's better than this. It literally sucks the LN2 out. Like, it's quite amazing. Alright, what are you going to shoot for 5 gigs all core? No. So, we might as well talk about that, actually. So, one of the things, I don't know if you guys noticed on the Gamers Nexus stream, we never actually hit 5 gigahertz. No 5 gigahertz. We hit like 4.9, which sucks. So, we need to change that. So, if, oh man. So, it looks like we're having some mem issues. So if I remember correctly, so we have A2, B2, C2, D2. So that means something's off. So this is why we check to make sure everything's working before. Let's just make sure that the temperature is good. So 46C should be good. Get it a little bit cooler. So I guess I lied. We're going to do some liquid nitrogen stuff. I don't know. Yep. So you guys see, yeah, we're missing a DIMM. So this is 9 times out of 10, what the issue is the mount. So this is where you got to play around with the mount and kind of figure it out. So if we go over here to the main screen, so this is what's nice about ASRock, right? So you can actually look right here, see that we only have triple channel memory and we want quad channel memory. So big bonus to have this in the BIOS, so that way we don't have to worry about it. Oh, and it looks like, so what I wanted to do too is I actually was going to flash the BIOS, but the BIOS that I'm using, so we're on P170. I do have the Rebar BIOS, which is P173, but it's a beta BIOS. What do you guys think? Should we go to the Rebar BIOS? I don't know. Kind of debating on what we want to do. C2 isn't showing registry. I have no idea what you're talking about here. X99 flashbacks. Ooh, those are some scary times. I got too much stuff going on here. Trying to figure out and try to manage so much at one time is a little. CSGO would be okay. Do it! My original intention was to get the 3070, but they sold out. I know, it's tough, guys. It's one of those things that bums me out as a YouTuber and Twitch guy. It's like, it doesn't give me any pleasure to show you stuff that I have that you can't buy. So I just want to get that out of the way. To be honest, it bums me out. I feel bad for you guys. Because, you know, stuff that I show, like, I only believe in stuff that I show. So I would love to show you, like, stuff that you can get, but it's just how it is, man. One day it will change. So, David Peterson. So, okay, beta. So we want to do beta. Nemesis, I'm so late. I am a slacker. Well, welcome to the Slacker Army. And remember, you can join the Slacker Army on Patreon. You get access to Discord. It's at $2 a month right now, but it's going to go up to $5 shortly. So you might as well get in there when you can. You know what I'm saying? We have a good group of slackers on there. If you need help with your PC, you want to start getting into memory overclocking, CPU overclocking, GPU overclocking. We got a bunch of good group of slackers over there. So make sure you join. I mean, for $5, dude, it's cheaper than one of the super chats, you know? Let's see. Alright, so let's try to figure this out. Maybe we'll tighten some stuff a little bit. Let's see if we can get this. Sometimes you gotta loosen up too. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of stinks sometimes. So let's see what works. We'll try on number 3. We'll go a little bit tighter. You want to do this in like small half increments. Like, you don't want to really go too crazy. And leave your liquid nitrogen. Don't use all your liquid nitrogen either. Baits are not stable, but I leave it to the master. Betas. Yeah, sometimes you... I don't know, I'm kind of one of those guys. Hello, what's going on, Twitch guys? I used to get 50 to 60 FPS all low on GTA V with the FX 6300, 12 gig of DDR3. Hey, yo, Future Bond. What is it? El Nino Grow. Hello, what's up, Slacker? You should share your link on MXPC. How about you guys share my links? So if you guys want to get the Slacker Army out there, come on, share the stream, share Twitch, share YouTube, share Patreon. Get it all out. Get it all out to people. I don't mind. I'm trying to give you guys content. If I have to worry less about that, the more content you get. I don't know, that was a weird voice, but it was kind of fun. But so anyways, so let's see. Did we work? No. I'm going to say we're losing C2. I don't want to say C2. Let's see. Alright, we're going to tighten the one side a little bit now. So I'm pretty sure that it goes A, B, C, D. I don't know. So who's looking at that manual? It says for 2 sticks, the proper layout for the board is A2, second DIMM, B2. For the set of 4 DIMMs, it would be C2, D2. I know, I'm having the problem with C2, but I have so one of the things you guys don't realize is I got really bad eyes. So it's kind of hard for me sometimes to be able to do things. That's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to solder anymore. old age is kicking in, and now I'm having a hard time seeing things close. It just shows you my age there. ACD, yeah, B2, D2. All right, let's try to do this one again. So I was right, so I think I'm in the right slots. It's just trying to figure out, or getting the mount down. Can you guys see the post at all? It's a lot cheaper than B550. Yeah, one of the things that we got caught up on this build over here, what kind of messed me up, is that I got a B450, but it didn't have RGB. I didn't realize it didn't have RGB, and it was like, oh man, I felt like I totally messed up. Still no C2. All right. Careful with a screwdriver too when you're doing this stuff. You don't want to tap the wrong thing and then short something. Done it before. It's a crappy day. Get some glasses, Slacker. What do you think they are made for, old man? Don't laugh. I'm here twice your age. Isn't that true? Again, something training error in the socket. 9 times out of 10, if you're having a memory issue when you're booting up and going into the BIOS, it has to do with the socket mount not being level. Maybe I went a little bit too hard on 3 versus number 2. Because if you look at the actual ASRock, not ASRock, the socket itself, there you basically tighten 3 screws. Yeah, 1, 2, and then 3. What happens is sometimes it goes a little bit to the side, so you end up having some issues with balancing out. So I'm going to loosen up 3 a little bit and see if maybe that helps. It's kind of a pain to do this, but this is the best way to like kind of play around and get it working, you know? So that way like I don't put the cooler on and then I got to mess with the cooler. So I'd rather do this and make sure quad is all working correctly, quad channel. And that way I don't have to kind of mess with it. That way I'm being proactive instead of reactive, I guess you can say. What processor is this? Because I'm too late. You are slacking is what you are doing. This is the 64-core AMD Threadripper. This is the latest, not what everybody keeps on speculating. Man, this is driving me nuts. Alright, so I think we're going to have to start again. So let me go loosen that one up. Let's try. Sometimes it's a balancing act, playing around. When you have to keep a pair of glasses everywhere you visit to make sure you have a pair ready. Isn't that the truth? Thanks, Bagman, over on Twitch. So most people don't realize that, like, so a lot of the times people stream both to YouTube and Twitch, and they only like keep track on one side. Well, I'm keeping track of both. If I don't get to you, just post it again, and I'll do it. So, still nothing. Come on. Hey, at least this one boots, because the last one that I had issues with, it would actually do, like, I think it was C0. So I basically didn't, I was so depressed, because all I've wanted to do is break that 5 gigahertz barrier. What I was getting to before I got distracted was, when I was on Gamers Nexus and we used, I remember I lapped Roman Spot, and then we tested out the 64 core. I never got to 5 gigahertz. Never got to 5 gigahertz. So it was very depressing. So we're going to make up for that now, because it's, number one, what you guys don't realize, when I travel and then try to overclock, it's always a headache, because you got to bring all your gear, your setup can get messed up. Most of the time, like when we have a setup that's basically dialed in and just sitting there, it's just awesome. Still nothing with C2. Let me just make sure which module is C2, because sometimes it could be the module too. So I'm going to take out one and see if we get the same. Man, I hate having bad eyes. There's nothing worse than losing your vision. Socket manufacturer actually mattered. Isn't that the truth? It really is. Like, most people don't realize that it's a little bit of an art, and there's a little bit of try and failure with this type of stuff. To be honest, I feel like they should make the sockets much easier. I mean, this one's still way better than the Xeon one. The Xeon one, to me, is kind of ridiculous. I've spent more trying to get it work than actually having it work. Oh, wait a second. It wasn't the module that I thought it was. I think it's on the other side. Oh, interesting. So that's one way to tell. And not all BIOSes have this either, so a lot of the times you'll have to boot up in Windows and then kind of go and play around. It kind of sucks sometimes, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. We're just going to take out modules to see which one it actually is. It's been a while since I actually tested these memory modules. So we also want to make sure that you never know, it could be actually a bad stick too. Says Joe needs reading glasses, but wants to look pretty for the stream. Exactly. You found me out. That's exactly why. Not gonna lie. I don't want to ruin my prettiness. Because there's no such thing. That was the one. Look at that. So we got 3 modules, and I have 3 in there. So it's the one that's closest to the CPU on the top, if you guys don't know. Hold on. Oh, we're running hot too, so let's cool it down a little bit. What's crazy is, like, you only need a little bit of liquid nitrogen to cool it down. And even on Threadripper. This is pretty good. Like, if I was using a KP pod, it would actually take a lot longer than this. And take a lot more liquid nitrogen. I'd have to use something like this big. I hear a lot of people complaining about how much they cost, but sometimes you gotta pay for engineering. And to be honest, what's crazy about this pot is it literally soaks the liquid nitrogen so quick that you use so much less. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I really didn't believe it until I started using it. It was kind of amazing. Alright, so let's make sure. So, this memory module, let's clean it a little bit. Make sure, you never know, it could be actually the memory module itself. So, let's make sure it's not. So, what I like to do is, I use this spray to clean modules all the time. So, I'll just spray them and then wipe. You'll see that basically it gets a little wet and then we clean off. Simple as that. That's why this stuff is golden. Golden. I actually buy them like 6 or 7. Like, I'll buy them by the case because I use them so much. Like, if you ever get water on the motherboard or something, just spray that and it'll basically take care of it. Mr. Murdoch, that actually finally showed up on the stream, knows what I'm talking about with that. You didn't think I didn't see you, did you? Oh, we gotta watch the beard. Who's taking bets on if I'm gonna get the beard caught? Hold on, I can't see. That's what happens. We should change my channel to Old Man. Oh. It'd help if I turn the PC on. I can't see what's going on here. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm in the wrong way. I probably just killed it too, that's the funny part. Yeah, hot plugging in the RAM. You saw that, right? We'll just pretend that didn't happen. I tend to have a little bit of luck sometimes when it comes to stuff like that. Not always. A lot of so there's some people out there that, like, they'll touch the wrong thing and it will be the worst thing to touch, you know. I've done it before with that. It doesn't. Most of the newer motherboards, maybe on the older motherboards that used to cause issues, but the newer ones, they can pretty much. They're pretty good when it comes to stupid stuff nowadays. They seem a lot better than the old motherboards. Is basically what it comes down to. Not the GN blue can. Yes, do not use the blue can. I'm not even kidding with it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So I cleaned the memory module, and now we've got quad channel. Woo! Alrighty. Yes, not the blue can. Some LN2 to chill your drink. I know, right? We're going to have to do that, right? Woohoo! Got to get some liquid nitrogen in there. I don't want to waste it all. Don't do that at home, by the way. If you ever want to know what liquid nitrogen tastes like, it doesn't taste like anything, but it makes you want to burp a lot. So you got to be very careful when you swallow it. So, and don't ever do that. Yes, we are back up. Local man commits core slaughter. Ah, I'm thirsty. All right. So let's see. So now we can go back and start moving on up in the world. We're at 39C. We've got quad channel memory working. So what did we say here? Yes, I am a crazy man. We get it, you vape. It's another type of vaping, right? Basically, don't do what I do what I say. Yes, El Nino Crow is exactly right. Awesome. It is definitely frosty. Yes, don't do that at home. I am a professional, somewhat, but yeah, it's definitely dangerous. Don't do that. I've been literally working with liquid nitrogen for at least 15 years now. 15, 16, maybe around 14, 15 years, something like that. I don't know. I'm old. It's just how it is. But I know the do's and don'ts, so don't do that. I do it so that way you don't have to, right? The real question is, what are you drinking in the cup? Actually, so if you guys haven't noticed, and I haven't really been talking about it. Well, I talk about it a little bit. Is that I actually lost a bunch of weight. So with my son, I have an 11-month-old son, and trying to keep up with him has really been, and working and trying to do everything has been crazy. So I started doing this diet, right? I started out about 297 pounds, and now I'm at about 275 pounds. So it's basically a company called Arbonne. I actually put a link up, basically, and show you kind of what are the products I do. I just didn't want to kind of put it on the YouTube stuff. I didn't know if you guys are really interested in it, just hit me up on all the social media chats, and I'll share the info on what I do. And because to be honest, I have never felt better. I have more energy than I had before. I'm gonna start hitting back in the gym again. But this is basically an Arbonne fizzy drink. They're pretty good. It's like instead of drinking like a Red Bull, it's kind of like it has B12, B6. It has all like the stuff that you really need. So I don't know, it helps with hunger and stuff, and I don't know. They're just really good. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of, if you guys want to know more about it, I don't like sharing stuff like that. People think I'm making money off of it like crazy or whatever. It should, because it is expensive stuff, but it really does work very well. Oh, I did notice that you lost weight. Yeah, I'm looking all buff. It says, my wife has lost 65 pounds. Damn, go her. Doing intermittent fasting. So, yeah, basically I eat one meal a day, and I do 2 shakes to supplement other meals. So that way, like, I get all my fruits and veggies, and then I basically get everything that I need to survive, right? And then I do one meal that's like really healthy. So maybe I'll do like a grilled chicken salad, stuff like that. But yeah, so we've been losing weight pretty well. I want to get down to the 250 range. I'm gonna probably start lifting in the next week or two. We gotta get the guns back, if you know what I'm saying. So basically, keto liquid with energy vitamins for B12. Pyro, you nailed it on that one. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, pretty much what she does, just skips breakfast. Yeah, you just gotta be careful, like when you gotta make sure you're filling your body with something. You can't just like totally fast and not have essential, because then otherwise you get really tired and you crash. So highly recommended if you're gonna do something. I'd basically say this is kind of like almost like Herbalife, but better. The shakes are really good. I don't know. I'll have to put up information on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram about it, so that way you guys know what I'm doing. And if you guys want to get on it too, I mean, it supports me either way, but it's a little bit on the expensive side, but to be honest, it really, really works. I feel like when I get down to 250, maybe I'll advertise it more. Who knows? But yeah. So let's get on. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a beta tester, and we're going to do 1.73. So we're going to go with the beta BIOS. I'm feeling, I don't know, feeling dangerous. So I feel like I'm always dangerous with USB. I can't see. Well, I want to go in. Hold on. Sometimes I miss the old days. So Gigabyte high cookie boards he used to have USB in the front, so I could just go like this when you're benching. Nobody does that anymore. Why can't you have USB in the front right there? Ventures matter too, broskies. Alright, so we have that one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Instant Flash program. You know what I forgot? It's a zip file! I gotta unzip it real quick, so bear with me. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the system real quick, because it's gonna get too hot, and I don't have liquid nitrogen, so just bear with me. I just gotta unzip it to that drive. It won't take long, I promise. Oh man, did someone say I lost 170 pounds? I have the reverse part of your problem. You guys crack me up. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. To be honest, ever since I started streaming again, I just love hanging out with you guys. It really, really makes my day. Alright, so basically what happened is when you download a file through from ASRock, what it does is it's a zip file. So I didn't actually unzip it, so it couldn't find it. So while we're doing that, I'm going to get some more liquid nitrogen. Should be done. If you can't see it, is it really there? Right? You know what I don't like about this program? Why doesn't it refresh? It's driving me nuts. I'm missing some of you guys. I don't like it. I am fat and don't care anymore. You know what? I actually love that you said that, because so many people are so nervous about how they are, and to be honest, personally, I really could give a shit. Mostly what it's about for me to lose weight is to get my energy back. Ever since this whole crap has happened, I feel like my energy has went to nothing. So it's really about me being able to keep up with my son, because I know my son's gonna end up just driving me crazy, and he's going to be a lot of work, because he's 99 percentile. The kid is like the size of a 2-year-old at 11 months. He's a big kid. Slacker, Tullius, you make our day, broski. You make my day. You guys don't know my buddy Tullius. He's awesome. I know he's got some crazy Threadripper magic over there. Wasn't that you, Tullius? Weren't you putting something up about doing a 64 core? I wanted to say that you have that new Asus board that's like the monster, probably one of my favorite boards. To be honest, I feel like that should be on my next machine, it should be that board. I can't remember the name of the board, but I know what you guys must know what it is. I mean, I think it's out. It's a TRX 40 board, and it's basically a monstrosity. It's like what every TRX 40 board should be. Like this monster, all these PCIe slots. It's absolutely amazing. I weigh about 65 kg, so there's not much to lose. BS, that's funny, bro. BS, that's BS. See what I did there? Alright. Come on. Let's see. I'm losing it. I'm going to have to fix this. I'm going to have to change this setup around. Yes! The Zenith Extreme TRX 40 is basically what it was. The WRX 80 Sage. Oh, that's right. That's TR Pro. It's hard to keep up nowadays, man. To be honest, guys, I've been I don't know. It's been weird doing tech stuff. To be honest, I've tried not to stay up to current on a lot of things, and it just kind of depresses me in a way. It's oh, we can't. It's kind of. I hate when you guys can't get stuff. Tools. All right, InstaFlash. Now it should find it. Woohoo! We're there, and we're gonna update. Here, we'll get it cooler. Do you want to update? Yes, we do. See, now this is the nerve-wracking part. We're going to make sure we got enough LN2 so it doesn't crash. Oh, yeah. This better be quick. Oh, man, you know what I didn't think of? So in Florida, we're storming right now. So I'm wondering if there's storms coming through. If I lose power, I'm going to be not too happy. a little worried about that because last time, I don't know if you guys remember, one of my streams, I had to cancel a stream because of storms because it kept on dropping my internet out. It sucks. Oh man, I wish you could OC on the Threadripper Pro, right? It's kind of rough. It's a great main system, broski, but no OC at all. Yeah, but that's just a Pro. That's why I want just a bigger TRX 40. Isn't the Zenith not Pro? I don't remember. You need some power banks for backups. Demusement. I used to live in Fort Myers. This time of year, you can get set your clock to the storms every day. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, no, I have a UPS over on the side, but this is not connected to a UPS, which it probably should be. Yes, I know. You guys are killing me. I have a UPS. I just don't have it on this system. I have it on my stream system. So, but the thing is if my internet goes down, it doesn't help me anywhere, you know? Because then if the internet goes down, the stream goes out. So it's kind of like pointless anyway, you know? Oh. I need to figure out why this doesn't refresh as much. I remember that stream. Do you have a favorite RAM kit? Most of the RAM that I recommend is G-Skill. Favorite right now, I like the RG... I would say I like the 32 gig kits, the dual... But the problem is I don't know how, like, the availability. It's one of those things, like, it's hard to recommend to you guys something that I really like because, guess what? Yeah, they're out of stock. So, I don't know. One of the things you guys can do, remember, join Patreon. You get access to the Discord. We always go over a bunch of stuff like memory, like what... I just built out a new area where I have my favorite products, so I'm going to start packing that up. So, remember, join Patreon, $2 a month. It's just going to go up to $5 a month soon. So, get in while you can. I wish I didn't have to do this. I have a UPS on a PC and a network rack. Yeah, that's the problem. You know what it is? It's from working so much in IT. Like, I just hate rack setups. Like, I have nightmares back of, like, 2001, 2002. I built out, a whole data center. Like, literally built it out. Like, I'm the one that installed everything in the racks, configured everything, did all the UPS. Oh, it was absolutely insane. But ever since then, I've stopped doing it. Like, I try to go away from, like, rack mount systems. The fans are so damn loud. I don't know. If I had more room, or if I had a server room, I'd probably do it. Yes, 32 gig DDR4 CL16 Neo is available, but expensive. That's kind of what I would recommend. Sorry if it's too expensive. Don't do the prices. Got to make sure the kids keep Wi-Fi. Isn't that the truth? God forbid the kids don't get Wi-Fi, you know? I don't know. I'm a little bit different when it comes to that. My son's probably not going to get too much internet. He's going to get regulated internet. It's what happens when your dad works in InfoSec. Let's see, is it going to boot to Windows? Here, I'm just going to pull this real quick. I don't want to boot to Windows yet. We're going to end up doing the whole install without the... Oh, okay. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that we actually have quad channel memory. Because you never know. Sometimes different BIOSes... You'd be surprised what happens. Sometimes bad things happen, if you know what I'm saying. So we're going to keep... Usually what I do is... I always keep everything stock when I'm going to do an OS install. I've heard people say, oh, you got to overclock it to the install and it makes a difference. I've never seen that. So to me, that's kind of a myth. So I don't know. If you have proof, let me know. Maybe we'd test something out. Who knows? All right. So what we're going to do now, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? You want to install Windows or do you want to put on the Ice Giant? What do you guys think while I blow up this machine by trying to stick USB in it? I would think a 32-core Threadripper would be more than 2.9 gigahertz. This isn't 32-core. This is 64-core. Sorry, I might have confused people that I did have the 32-core in, but I was having some issues posting. So I basically took the 32-core, and we're actually running the 64-core right now. So just so you guys know, I didn't want to make sure. I'm confusing sometimes, so just ask away. I don't mind answering. It's always fun to interact with you guys. I enjoy it so much. That's why we're doing on both. Install Windows. The F40 BIOS was super wonky, but was only for support PCIe Gen 4. Yeah, PCIe Gen 4 is a little interesting. Well, let's see if it boots up first. But we're definitely... I love the Ice Giant. So, I don't know. I think they put up a quote of mine. I'm a big fan of this cooler because it's simple. Sometimes, like, for a daily system, you just want it to work. And then setting up all this takes a lot of time. You got to do all the bends. You got to make sure everything's running. Nothing leaks. You don't have to worry about that with this. You just need to make sure that it's tightened down. So that's what makes it easy. The functionality is awesome. And to be honest, you get a decent amount of headroom with OC on this. That's what I think really surprised me the most about the Ice Giant, was that, like, it actually handled a 32-core Threadripper quite a bit. Like, it was amazing to me. I was really impressed. I think I was doing like 4.6, 4.7 on 32-core Threadripper and doing Time Spy, which is amazing in my book. So, all right, we're just going to go through like a regular Windows 10 install. A lot of the times lately, I don't know, you guys have always asked for a strip down video. We're going to do one of those, but I just haven't came up with a good way to do it. It takes a lot of time and a lot of testing. I think maybe one day we'll just do a stream on it and kind of play with it and show you guys and have some fun. That's the whole thing with these streams now, is pretty much, I usually, so I don't know if you guys have knew this, but whenever I would stream, I would actually prep before the stream and then stream. But now I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do any prep. I'm going to do it with you guys, so that way you guys can learn and see how I troubleshoot and just have fun and hang out with me, because it can be boring doing this all by yourself. So having you guys around is kind of amazing. I love it. Not going to lie. But I'm not loving this. This is driving me nuts. Press install. Yes, I will install. Sheesh. You guys are killing me. Uh-oh, I hear my boys screaming in there. Alright. I don't have a product key. So what I like to do is I usually go with the N edition. And this is, I don't know. This shows my age too, is that the N edition is like a stripped down version. It doesn't come with all the media crap. So I always do the Windows N edition. It's just what I do. We're going to do a custom... Did I not plug in? Oh, look at that. It helps when you plug the hard drive in. The power for the hard drive, actually. So, let's see. I hate when that happens. So, we're going to have to reboot. See, I think that means that... I think the PC really just wanted to install the Ice Giant. Is pretty much what I feel. Just saying. Just saying. Hi, just tuning in. Why don't you use one of the Russian cut-down versions of Windows? I don't know. That just sounds shady. No, I like to use default installations. I'm not too crazy about using strip-down. If I do a strip-down one, I'll do one myself. So, I'm not very trusting when it comes to it. So you guys know, I've probably installed probably over 100... probably almost 1 million PCs in my lifetime. I used to be in charge of building images. I've done PC rollouts for entire companies. I've installed a lot of machines. So most of the time when I see something, I don't download something. Most of the time you know what I forgot? This is kind of funny. I forgot that I had an OS on there already. So we gotta reboot again. That way we can get into Windows. But yeah, I've installed so many images that, like, I build my own. So it's just kind of how I wrote. Are you guys laughing at me? Does your hardware have beards? I wish it did. It should. Come on, man. Just wait until I come out with bearded approved. That's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna put beards on product because it's bearded approved. You hear that, everybody? Because then you won't buy anything unless it has a beard on it. Now, that's what I'm saying. That's how the future looks in my eyes. I don't know. I'm just talking smack right now. It's kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. We're gonna be streaming a lot too. Like, it's kind of crazy. I'm on like this whole stream fest. To be honest, I was feeling bummed for a while, and like when you're not in front of a camera, like it's kind of hard to explain. Like it gets, I don't know, difficult. Like, you guys have seen me stream with Gamers Nexus, with Steve. You guys have seen me a lot, but even I get nervous sometimes, and especially when I'm not. If I haven't done it in a while, like, it's weird filming yourself. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it almost is something you never get comfortable doing unless you just keep doing it. Because then you just don't care anymore. You just kind of go crazy. And since I've been streaming since last week, I've gotten that way. I've been like, oh my gosh, I just want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. It's kind of exciting. I'm really looking forward to doing some crazy stuff. Meat Shield, I like it. I like it too. I love all you guys. Oh man, I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit F11. I hate when I do that. Actually, it might boot up. I think it, yeah, I told it to boot off the USB, so it might work. And I hate having to refresh this. Sorry guys over there. Right click on the taskbar and open the news and interest and turn them off. Well, one of the... this drives me nuts. I want to say... so when you change manufacturer boards, it's kind of like, I don't know. I was just working on a Gigabyte board, so if you watch the last two streams, I was basically playing on the Gigabyte board. Now I'm on the ASRock board, so they're all a little bit different. So you gotta bear with me sometimes. I always forget. It's crazy. Like, even with memory timings, they're different. Like, it's just one of those things that it can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Can we boot right now? Alright, we need some more liquid nitrogen. Ugh. I don't like how this doesn't refresh. This is kind of annoying. I just did it. You have to click on the blank spot. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. Miss seeing you, broski. Apollo, what's up, buddy? You look good, Joe. I think you dropped most of the extra weight quitting booze. Actually, you'd be surprised. Like, it's been like almost 2 years now for no booze. And to be honest, I gained a bunch of weight. At first, I did lose weight, but then I gained it after. I almost feel like when you quit doing that, like you go through like weird spurts. That's sure. Got my shirts in cup, thanks, brother. It's an art. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. Press on. I don't even know what we're talking about over here. We get all crazy. Failing mem test almost immediately. Oh, CL2253. You guys are funny sometimes. Or should I say all the time? Alright, so we're clicking install now because everybody wanted me to install. Recent ASRock have amazing VRM. That is true. Like, so ASRock actually used to be like one of my big sponsors. So Nick Shee, when he did a bunch of the newer VRMs ever since X299, ASRock has really been doing well when it comes to, we're gonna delete, designing VRMs. So they were one of the boards that wasn't affected with X299. I don't know if, like I was talking about before. There, we're just gonna do that one. There we go. So let's get that rolling. I hate that I have to keep doing this. This is gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna have to fix this for next stream. When I right click on the taskbar in the third list down, you guys are doing something over there. What are you guys doing over there? I'm fairly sure the bandwidth more than makes up for it. Well, I don't know, man. That frequency 5300 at that, it really depends on your setup, but I doubt it. I don't know. I've always found that if you go with a lower CL, you'd be surprised what happens. Like, if I were to take liquid nitrogen and go on my Gigabyte setup, which I think we should do because I'm kind of bored with the setup now. But I have to go through some modules, so this is why I kind of want to do Threadripper, but I don't know. It's something we'll have to play with. Do some liquid nitrogen on memory. That's one of those things where, like, you have to do, like, prep for, like, 2 weeks, get everything right, go through the modules that like cold, because BDI, a lot of those modules, especially earlier ones, the ones that go really super tight, don't like cold, or they are very... I don't know, they're just a pain sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what the word for it is, but uh. So yeah, we're installing. What's up, great bearded one? What's going on, Eric? How you slacking over there? What will you be using this beast for? So this one is just, this is the performance setup. So this is going to be my OC setup. What's going to happen with the 64 core? The 64 core is going to go in my personal machine. I've kind of been neglecting myself over the past several months, trying to, when I have time, to get you guys stuff, or just to try to take some slack time, because I always have that tendency to, I'm just a work type of guy. I've been a consultant for 20 years. I always get paid based upon how I work, you know? So I have this, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but it kind of is that I don't really do all the rest that I should. I should take more slack time than I usually do. And what happens is I tend to get burned out because I'm like, once I'm in the zone on something, I just want to keep going. So I tend to do that, and it's kind of like to a fault sometimes where I don't take enough rest. So that's kind of what I've been doing over the past couple months. But now it's time to, I don't know, slack hard, I guess you can say. So, Tullius, I'm having issues with XTU. Slack decking right now, huh? I'm having issues with XTU and the 11900K on the Z559. Scores are like 40%. 40%? That's a lot, broski. Just got it today and still figuring out. Don't think I'm missing a setting. You gotta be missing something if you're 40% off. Maybe it's the version of XTU? I don't know. Something doesn't sound right. If you're 40% off on XTU, so that means you're multi-core, multi-threaded. I don't know. That's a hard one on that one, broski. You're on the OCF? Okay, so I haven't really tested the OCF. Maybe there's something particular on the ASRock board. I'm running the Gigabyte board, so you know how that is. Like, going from different manufacturers, it seems like you always have different problems. So, I don't know. You might want to ask Alan over there. Mr. ASRock over there, because he's an exceptional bencher. He's like one of my favorite benchers, especially in the U.S. Alan really busts his ass. If you notice, like, he and I have done a bunch of events together over the years. We did MSI MOA 2010. He and I did the 9900K reveal for Intel over at the World Trade Center. Well, that was an awesome time. But yeah, so he's a great bencher. He always sends. He's more of a CPU bencher. He doesn't like doing the GPU stuff. But he's just an exceptional bencher. If you don't know who I'm talking about, we're talking about Splave, aka Alan. He's a good dude. Very good dude. I would say, Tullius, you got to talk to him. That's the tough part, because when you go on the different boards and stuff, it's hard to go from one manufacturer to the other. Like, I see a lot of people go, like, they'll do all ASUS and then they'll do all ASRock. When you switch from, say, hey, go to MSI, then go to ASRock, then go to Gigabyte, like, it almost, like, makes your head spin on how much you have to go through to get it all, like, working, and it can be tough. I'm trying to gauge the temp based upon the pot, because what happens is this pot soaks up the heat so much you could feel it. It will get hot. So I don't have a thermometer on it, so I'm basically going there. But talking about thermometers, I'm a huge supporter of Elmore Labs. Go to elmorelabs.com. He's also got a cool Discord. I don't know if it's free, but he's exceptional. He used to work for ASUS. Now I think he's on his own, but he builds that very cool stuff. He's got a heater, kind of like the KP Inferno. He's got all the stuff for the Strix, where the EVC. And you can do a lot with that. He's also got the thermometer. He's got a lit up one. You can do data logging with it. You can also do a stream overlay. I got to get that going. I want to get that hopefully for when we do liquid nitrogen on this. I was just having some issues. I don't know if it's a particular version. I have to talk with him. So if you want to talk to him, I would say go on his Discord. Just check out his site, elmorelabs.com. If this keeps up, I'll bug Alan for sure. You should bug him anyway. Tell him Slacker wanted to talk to me. I just ordered the EVC2SX and the hot heater from Elmore. Awesome! That's all. Is PSU is not Matrix to me? That sounds like power issues. I must have missed something. I don't know what he's talking about. But if you guys want to put a summary in there, let me know. It's hard to keep up with the stream when we're also doing technical stuff. I love to talk to you guys. That's where I enjoy what I enjoy the most. Let's see. I was making sure that this ASRock set of... Okay, good. Sometimes I kind of lose like which view we have on. I want to make sure you guys can see what's going on here. And then you can see what I do on Windows 10. Well, oh, that was the thing I wanted to talk to you about. So on Windows 10, so I keep on getting asked like, hey, what once you build a stripped down version, stuff like that. Well, one of the things is we can do that. Well, and we're definitely gonna end up doing it. It's just I gotta figure out the format and take the time. The problem is the amount of time. But the other thing is you can use a program called Windows Debloater. Windows Debloater basically allows you to run on your regular system, and you can basically strip down all the crap. And what's really nice about it, instead of installing like a stripped down OS where everything's taken out, so like you can't even install it after. With this, you can basically strip it down real time. So you can basically strip it down, reboot, and then all of a sudden you're back to normal. That way you can debug certain things. Because what gets crazy with stripping down stuff, you take out the wrong thing, then you can't do anything. And that's what kind of that's one of the reasons why I haven't done the video. It's kind of like it's hard to recommend that. Because for a daily system, you don't want to use it. For a bench system, of course, it's okay. And you're going to get a little bit of a higher score. And that's maybe, depending, because I've seen stripped down videos, or not stripped down videos, but I've stripped certain stuff out before, and I actually basically got worse performance. So there's always that fine line and balance. I always say that, like, balance in my in the Discord. So it's kind of one of those things. Balance is always like that. We'll do internet later. If you guys thought that was pretty fun. Love watching your work, man. I learn a lot. That's why I do this, guys. This is really for you. This is, I don't know. That's why I thought maybe when we're doing streams, instead of me doing prep, why not do it? Why don't you guys see the prep, right? That way you guys can see how to do it too. I'm not trying to hoard these settings. I'm not trying to basically do nothing, like just to only show you like records and stuff like that. To me, that's kind of how I got lost with doing all this. I don't want to do that. I want to basically show you guys how I troubleshoot. Maybe you guys can learn from that, or it helps you with your setup. It's about helping you guys, getting you guys into the PC industry, you know? Even though sometimes it sucks, but like that's just how it is with everything. Sometimes things are going to suck, sometimes things are going to be awesome, right? But that's just how it is. So some people ask me what questions. So when I do a Windows 10 install, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. Now, you got to be careful doing this on a daily system, but look at what it says. Turn it off if you don't need it. Location. I don't want anybody to go based upon my location. On a bench system, I don't care about this. But if I want to have a nice widget that's going to tell me the weather of where I am, maybe I want to keep location on, right? Diagnostic. I don't like sending my stuff out, you know? I don't do tailored experience crap. I take off advertising ID. I don't want find my device. If you're doing a laptop install, I would say keep this, but on your desktop, I don't know. Like, what are you going to do? Lose your room? I don't know. Well, usually with a lot of these, I basically go and, you know, go through and try to figure out what is what, you know? Cortana, I'm not going to do that. You can for your daily. I don't even use it for a daily system, so. I don't know if you guys do. Tell me what you like about it. I'm always down to try things. I don't mind. It's an art. Gigabytes, finicky. Asus is pretty solid, just like UVGA. ASRock has also been solid. MSI2. You wouldn't think one board could be different from the other. Even the same two boards. Dude, even the same manufacturer boards, just you would think they'd be similar. Sometimes they're not. And it's crazy too, because like especially with OCing and you're going down into the basic details. See, one of the reasons why I like Asus or Gigabyte MSI, they really give you a lot of settings to change. They'll give you a bunch of I don't know, profiles. That's one of the big things where I think Asus is really rocking it. They give you a lot of profiles to start off with memory clocking, so you don't just have to type in every setting. Gigabyte started doing that on the last board too, so that way you have a good starting point. I think ASRock does that too. I haven't. It's been a while since I've benched like a Z590 type setup for ASRock. So, but I think they have something there too. There's a reg key you can set it to turn off Cortana web search. Yeah, I know about that. With there's, I'm just saying if you want to use it. Like, I don't really mind if Cortana's in there. Strider Noob, sup slackers over on Twitch. What's going on, slacker? It's funny too. Now it's not refreshing, so I don't know what the heck is going on with this little utility I'm using. It basically gets me both of YouTube and Twitch. So we're not gonna do that one. So yeah, we got a nice Windows installation. You know what I didn't do? We didn't get Benchmate. So what I'm gonna have to do is get Benchmate. I'm gonna restart and put it into the OS. Actually, we'll get the more pretty version. Hold on, let's see. I don't know what I'm talking about right at the moment. Just bear with me. So what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to install Benchmate. So I guess I'm gonna have to download that real quick. So bear with me. Let's just see what the temp is. I don't want to try to waste the LN2 just installing this. So I want to see if the temps are pretty good. Yeah, 34C. So I think what we're going to do is, instead of me installing Benchmate right now, how about we install this Ice Giant cooler? Because I absolutely love this cooler. It is definitely one of my favorite, or if not my most favorite cooler there is. It's just so simple. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm not a big AIO fan. I feel like they never work that good for overclocking. Like, and I'm always looking for something that I just need to set something up, you know? And this thing works pretty damn well, so it's hard not to like it, if you know what I'm saying. Alright, so let's take this off. We'll keep the pot on there for now, and what we're going to have to do is we'll have to go over the setup a little bit. The setup of installing this awesome Ice Giant cooler. What's up, Straters, Substackers, GPU drivers? MS Edge is good for downloading Chrome. I like your style on that one. That's pretty funny, actually. Let's see. I think, Alright, let's see if I remember how to install it, right? Well, the first thing is, before we install anything, I think with this one, we got to do this. Now, bear with me. I've installed this a bunch of times, but I've been installing it on different PCs, right? So what's cool about this is that you can use this on multiple setups. So, like, it doesn't have to just be Threadripper. You can use it on, what's it called? The 6950 or 5950X, or basically anything. You can use it on the smaller chip Intel, the bigger chip Intel. You can use it on smaller AMD. Like, what I mean by smaller is non-Threadripper, you know? The only thing you can't use it is on, like, the Xeon. So it's an awesome, awesome cooler. I love that name, Meat Shield. Driving me nuts. Never mind, just caught the stream now on Twitch, so couldn't miss this. Gotta love the main slacker. Well, Strider Noob, you're awesome, man. I'm glad you guys... And, hey, even if you're on YouTube, go on to the Twitch, too, because we're trying to get affiliate over there, too. So, every little bit helps the Slacker Army, and if you really want to help the Slacker Army, make sure you join Patreon. I keep saying it, guys. We have a Discord server over there. We're always looking for cool people. If you're not cool, and you're not, like, cool to people, don't go. But if you're cool, and you want to hang out with a bunch of cool people, bunch of people that will help you out in the PC industry, just trying to get things, if you're just stuck on something, it's almost like a good tech support channel. So make sure you join on Patreon. And yeah, make sure you follow on YouTube, follow on Twitch, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Twitter is where I'm probably active the most, so you can follow me on there. Instagram, I already said. Facebook, I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't like how they limit me to a certain amount of people. It's kind of annoying. I need to set up a Bearded Hardware channel on Facebook. That's something I'll probably do in the next couple weeks. I've been thinking about it, and I guess if you got to do it sometime, right? So. Let's see. Man, this drives me nuts with this stream thing. I want to be able to see. What's up, Slacker? One go mo. What is moo? What is moo? Ice Giant isn't good on CPUs with monolithic dies like Intel. I'm not so sure about that because it was actually working pretty well on X99 X299 when I tested it. Or was it X2? Man, I don't even remember anymore. I'm getting old. Leave me alone. Alright, so we're going to clean this up. Clean that. I'm going to clean the CPU. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some... Oh, there we go. Some KPX. The blue stuff. Now, what I always do is I always use the spray. We're always going to use spray to clean. What's really nice is it basically... what's nice is it's like alcohol. It's part alcohol. So what it will do is you don't have to worry about trying to dry it out. It won't stay wet very long. It's good stuff. So... yeah, I think this is the kind of the weird thing with Threadripper. You got these little black standoffs that you got to put down on each of the holes, if I remember correctly. And I think they go into, yeah, they go into here. So let's see. You line it up based upon how it's oriented. It's pretty easy with Threadripper. It's not bad at all. Basically, you put on the screw holes, you put the black things over it, right? And gotta do 4 of them. Remember, we already tested, so if you're just joining the stream now, we already tested with the liquid nitrogen pot. That's why we used the liquid nitrogen pot, was to basically make sure that all the memory channels were working. Sure enough, what was happening when we did it, or when we were trying the 32 core, we were having a bunch of issues, right? I butchered it already. I have something not set up right. What's going on here? Oh, okay. There we go. This is the problem. I'm blind and my fingers are too big. Always the problem. So what I usually do is I'll put this on because this takes a little bit. Because there's a little groove in the black pieces that the metal part has to go into. It's kind of annoying almost. So what I'll do is I'll take the screws and I'll kind of wiggle them around to get the black piece in, and then I'll just tighten it a little bit. I know it's hard to see since I don't have a good view of it for you guys to see, but it's just kind of like a little tip. You just wiggle it around, and it helps guide the black piece into the top part, and then you just kind of screw it down. You just kind of wiggle it just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why the stream is only in one bitty corner of the screen. Oh, no, it's not bitrate. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I just slacken. Where's the... Sorry, slackers. I didn't realize that was just on BIOS only. My bad. Leave the slacker alone. He's trying. No, sometimes I do it. I gotta hook up something better than... I'm using like wireless mice. So what's happening is when I try to use it over here, it's getting interference over there. So I'm just juggling things. It's kind of driving me nuts, to be honest. What is he saying? Did not know that. I have an iPhone and anything is better in Safari. Oy. Get an Elgato Stream Deck. I actually have one and I just never did anything with it. So, I have the Stream Deck. That's kind of what I want to do. I just got to spend some time figuring out. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a video on that so that way I know what I'm doing. Where did I put the Ice Giant tool? So Ice Giant is nice enough to come with all the tools you need. Just don't be a slacker and lose it. Because that's what I just did, apparently. What did I do with it? I want to say... How could you miss this piece? Oh, here it is. So I guess I didn't put it all over there. So they come with this tool, because you'll need this tool. So what we're going to do is we're going to screw it in. Just do it a little finger tight, not too hard. Remember, you want to make sure that those the black standoffs are in the groove, because otherwise your mount is going to be off. Once you get one in, and it's relatively easy to get all the other ones in. But you don't have to go too crazy hard here. This is more to guide it, guide the cooler in when you're going. So just snug it up. Make sure it's all in. Make sure it's level. Take a good look at it. Admire the beauty of Threadripper. Yeah, it doesn't fit properly if you use 2 DIMM boards. Allen with the screwdriver on one side. What are we doing? MSI Max Overclocker. I see you hiding over there. What is that cringe, brother? MSI Max Overclocker. That is funny. So I don't know how many people actually know that like whole thing that went down. So MSI did this whole video. Dude, someone's got to look up that video. Because this guy, MSI, portrayed Max as this overclocker. And the way they did this video was hilarious. It was, to me, I laughed so hard. I thought it was funny. Because it almost seemed like how they depicted overclockers. It was just really funny. Like, they should have just chose an overclocker. They should have chose me. I would have done that and made it look way better. It's just funny. Makes me think of it. I gotta find that video, because I know it's somewhere on YouTube. It's gotta be over there. If I remember correctly. I think it was on YouTube. But that was a whole lot of laughs. I was dying when I saw it. Alright, so we're gonna put on some KP paste. We're gonna do a big X. Go from one side to the other. Yes, it gets messy, but I don't care. One of the things that when you're using paste, guys, make sure you put it in the bag because it does dry out. Paste is really expensive these days, and I'm not going to be that one that says, oh, it's too expensive, because to be honest, depending on what paste you use, depends on how far your OC will go. So the biggest bang for your buck is actually paste. So I just love how people be like, well, no, this paste is good, and it's not true. Like, you really need to make sure you're using the right paste. Even on air and water, you can get up to like 50 to 70 megahertz higher just by using paste. It's craziness. Craziness. Be right back, slacker. My left valve index controller stopped tracking for some reason. I'm going to cold restart my machine. Ooh, poor guy. X marks the spot. KP paste. Yep. Oh, Farla goes. What is that, a doggy? I'm trying to figure out. You got a lump on the head? What's going on over here? I love these emojis that you can do on Twitch. I use Colgate. Not toothpaste. Thermal paste. Alright. So now that I got this on, I snugged them up. Now we can go just a little bit harder, right? I always like to go get a little hard on there. You don't have to go too crazy. Remember, this is like a PCB. This isn't like a weightlifting championship. You know what I'm saying? Oh, actually, this one seemed a little low. Whoa! Oh, I thought I ruined my paste. Ruined my beautiful X. Not really, but You don't want to go too tight. You just want to get it. What is going on here? Ah, so it seemed like one didn't like catch in the right area. There we go. It's always fun going through all this stuff. See, you don't want to be that. This is why we tested it out before we ended up doing it, because you don't want to be taking this on and off and trying to figure it out. And that's why you do it first. Do your due diligence. Your D&D. All right. So what's going on here? Mr. Colgate MSI overclocker over here. All I use is KPX and buy 30 gram. It's the cheapest paste by far. Yeah, I saw Roman's paste. It was a little bit ridiculous. I think he was like $100 for the LN2 edition. I even use it under cold. Works great, actually. Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. Paste matters big time. I saw a lot of people talking about cryo. Cryo's not really the best, to be honest. I mean, it's good for liquid nitrogen, but it's not really that great for something like this, you know? Oh, hold on one sec. I don't know why I'm doing it, just for the hell of it. So the one thing I have to do is, what's normal, if you notice right here, basically there's two screws. These fans are in the way. So what you have to do is you gotta take both fans off. I just put in 2 screws in each fan. I don't go with the 4 screws because, I mean, it's not like the fans are gonna fall off. So if you don't put in more screws, I just like to do the corners. And voila, you take one off, right? Because I found every time that I went to put 4 in, I'd be taking it off, and then I got to undo 4 in. It's just like, it just feels like it's a little bit too much, you know? Say the wrong way here in the UK, KP paste might get you peanut butter. I'm not sure how, I don't even know what that means, but it'll be interesting. Yeah, I only got the small tube of Cryonaut. Well, Cryonaut Extreme doesn't really work well on... Like, and I'm not trying to be pessimistic or anything, but it really does not work well on air or water. I had a 50 megahertz difference between Cryonaut and KPX. So that says something. That's huge to me. I was actually really surprised, and the way I found it out was that I was using I was using KPX, and I did a bunch of overclocking on a 10900K. And then I was like, okay... I cleaned it off and I remounted, and then I went to get the same clocks that I knew that worked, and they didn't work. And I was like, this is weird. So I kept on trying. I went back to the KPX paste. All of a sudden, I was getting that 50 megahertz again. And I'm like, this is weird. So then I started looking into it and testing it further, and I found that Cryonaut actually is really bad on water and air. It's not that great at all. Maybe it's better than some other compounds, but like... at this point, I just use nothing but KPX when it's doing water and air. Oh, and the other thing is also if you do, if you get Thermal Grizzly Hydronaut, you're getting at least 25 megahertz higher on water and air than you are with Cryonaut. That's why, if you look at even, I think Roman even says it, Cryonaut is not for air and water. It's for liquid nitrogen. It has different properties. So... Yeah, AC5 I'm not that big of a fan, but I haven't tested it in a while, so I just don't remember. I don't remember the differences. I want to start kicking off some of those paste videos, but I'm trying to find a good balance of what test system. Actually, that's a good question for you guys. So if you guys want me to test, I literally have a box of about like 35 pastes that we can do a paste like roundup. But I want to kind of do it so like it's a one paste per video, and then but the thing is I'm trying to figure out the setup. Do we do it on Threadripper? Do we do it on maybe the 5950X? Do we do it on the Intel ones? Like, I don't know. I need some feedback on that. What do you guys think? So let me know, and then we'll start working on that, because I've been slacking on it, and I really, really want to do it. Like, I'm feeling more comfortable, so I feel like we need to do it. Don't need curing time. The new AC5 is blue, broski. Is it? I have no idea. I've been trying to get as much paste as people like. I love my camera. This is my big camera. This is what we should be using. We wouldn't have white balance issues. Let's see. Oh, it's basically easy board to mount and unmount. Do it on Intel AMD mainstream CPUs first and get some charts set. That's a good idea. All right. So let's load this puppy up while you guys are talking about that. While I'm dropping stuff everywhere. So all you do on this is, this one's actually pretty easy because it, oh, let me make sure. Yeah. Sometimes I get nervous. So what I like to do is, we're just gonna hammer it down. Wow, this thing's tight. Actually, this is kind of convenient. It's amazing. The cooler literally just fits. This is the first time I tested it on here, so I'm like really surprised it's even working. I didn't do any pre-tests on this one, so this one was pretty funny. So now, and then you take these screws. Usually you have to hold this because I'm telling you, this cooler is really heavy. Come on. Let me see. Move it around a little bit. Really, what's nice about the X is that it actually suction cups basically the cooler. Okay, so we're down there. What are we going on here? Can't get her in the hole. Here, let me take this before I ruin it. There we go. It wasn't in. Alright, so I'm just going to go a little bit, not too crazy tight. I want to get, you got to be careful going too tight on some things in the PC industry, man. I bent PCBs all the way around. So you want to be a little careful. Alright, for that, I think what we'll do is I'm going to take, I guess we can keep these fans. One of the things that I noticed with these, the fans they give you are super quiet, but I wanted to try actually replacing the fans and see how much more performance you can get. But let me see here. I have like a rat's nest of wires that I need to fix here. I was trying to take some pictures earlier. I was going to do it in the thumbnail and I changed my mind. The idea of the hottest CPU may be the better indicator. T. Perkins, that was one of the things that I was actually thinking. Is that maybe we just go with the hotter CPUs, but then is it a really good indicator for the less hot CPUs? That was kind of the, I don't know, I'm kind of like back and forth about it. That's why I ask you guys for the feedback. Alright, so it looks like we have this down, so let's put the GPU back in and see what it clocks to. Well, let's just make sure the temps are good. Before you start doing anything with overclocking, you always want to make sure that you're set up and running good. So, like, we don't have the other two fans on yet. I'll put them on in a second. I just want to make sure, like, the mount is decent. It's not off, you know? So let me, the hard drive's unplugged. And let's power up. So this should go right into the BIOS. And you'll notice I'll have to grab the beard because I'm very paranoid of having my beard stuck in one of those fans. Ask Steve. That's a good question, too. Maybe I should. Ask Steve how to do it. What would Steve do? What was that? What would Steve do? So is that WWSD? It's kind of funny, actually. But I'm curious on how much we can change these fans to get more performance. Like, not saying these are bad, but I always like to get something more better, if you know what I'm saying. Alright, so 40.5 to 38.5 with only 2 fans. Which is actually impressive for 64 cores at almost 3 gigahertz. That's crazy to even think. I'm still blown away that they could fit 64 cores in that. 64! If just a couple years ago, like it was, it blows my mind. So let me switch over to the other view, since we're rolling now. Alright, so we're looking good here. What I'm gonna do here is, the reason why I wanted to do this was I want to see if I tighten it up a little bit more, if I get a temperature improvement. So I just kind of want to see, like, I find that this is how I do, like, testing for coolers, because sometimes, I don't know what it is, but the natures of mounting CPUs can always be a problem. I feel like I could do this the same way 5 times and get 5 different results. That's what's also harder about the doing like pace tests, because you could have so many different variables that you didn't think about, and it just causes issues. Oh, I feel like I was really bad on the other one. Alright, so it's probably going to heat up a little bit. I'm just going to do a reboot. Try to see exactly what it is. And then we're going to put the other fans on there. What would Steve do? I love that. I'm going to have... Hey, you guys should go over to Gamers Nexus and basically go and put WWSD on there. Just kind of like spam them with it, like FFFFF. That would be funny. Add the other 2 fans on the cooler. Yes. Steve would make a 30-minute video out of 10-minute content. Yeah. It's a 4-grand trip, though. You definitely pay for them cores. That is true. L Money. KP, KP, KP. I'm not even sure what that means. For testing paste, use a torque wrench to exact... I know, but here's the thing that most people don't get about those torque wrenches. And I'm not a hater on it. To be honest, I actually... Here, let me switch this over when we do the fans. I actually have used torque wrenches, and I've literally had some issues with them. Even though, like, the torque is supposed to be working, like, I feel like you still, it's very prone to over-torquing. So you have to be very careful. I feel like, I don't know, I used a digital one, and then I used an analog one, and I felt like it's still, or actually, no, maybe I need to try a digital torque wrench, because when I tried a analog one, I always felt like I was over torquing and causing issues. So that's a great idea. Maybe I'll have to check that out again. You have to enable Twitch emotes. It's an EVGA KP ice cream van emote. Oh, I got the stream on my 88-inch wall TV. That's pretty amazing. 88-inch, man. I think my 70-inch doesn't do it justice. You're making me feel bad about my screen now. Just kidding. I like being big on the screen. What can I say? It's natural. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 2 on each fan. What's going on here? Oh, do we have a... There we go. There's something. We're having technical difficulties. So there's a little bit of setup involved with this, but it's worth it. It's definitely a lot less than, say, this one over here. And what's crazy is it's still quiet, and you can push it. You can overclock it, which is always a good thing. Oh, yep, we're only doing 2. See, I just want to do it. So we'll just tighten that one up a little bit. I also want to test out a couple things with this, too. Like, I feel like if you seal off these edges around here, that you could probably get a lot better push-pull going through it. We'll have to play around and test that out, test the theory out. We'll do that on another stream. I really want to do like a mod with one of these and like paint it and do some cool things, because like I said, I really dig this cooler. I feel like it's good. It's pretty easy to work with. It's a good cooler to have in a pinch, you know, like if you want something to work and it can handle a decent amount of heat. Because that's what I find with a lot of coolers, it doesn't work, like AIOs. Like, you'll saturate the AIO to the point where it's almost useless. You can't overclock it at all. And to be honest, I like anything that gives me a little bit of extra headroom, so that way I can run things higher than they need to be, right? So it's kind of like turbocharging your cooler a little bit. Alright, so we got this one. We're going to plug into here. And then technically this one should... Isn't there a splitter? I got so many splitters, I don't know what's going on here anymore. I thought there was another splitter. Oh, there it is. So there is So what's cool is that they give you splitters so that way you can go off of one fan header, which is awesome. A lot of the times I feel like most manufacturers don't take the time to give you everything that you need, and it's nice to see a company do that. And there we go. Woohoo! Yay! Do the thermal paste testing Top Gear style. Reasonably priced CPU. Ooh. I like that idea. Casey, you are on the ball for that. Ooh, that just stoked some of the creative juices there. That's a great idea. I like your style, broski. Says, I got it for 5K, I know a guy. Just what I wanted weather on the search bar. Remember, Control is free on Epic Game Store. That's a really good idea, Casey. I'm kind of blown about it. Look at those fans. Yes, sir. Well, let's make sure. Oh, let's do it. I always end up sticking my finger in a fan. It's just how it happens. I've literally bled my own blood many times with fans. It's funny, like some overclockers have like these tendencies where like you'll injure yourself on stupid stuff, but they always do like the one thing. Mine is I'm always sticking my fingers in a damn fan. It sucks. And make sure like I have to make sure I never use a Delta fan, because the Delta fans are like they sound like airplane engines. They're like they like start up and like it almost sounds like the world's ending almost. Like they're so nasty. We'll have to do some I don't know, maybe I'll have to break out some of the old gear that I have. I'll have to go through in the garage and find some of those. Those things are intense. You wouldn't be able to hear audio with them. It would be almost impossible to use, but they are still awesome to play with. That's a big whamma jamma CPU core. I like my AIO. I hate that tournament, to be honest. Don't stick your finger in the Delta fan. Yeah, you won't have a finger anymore. MR Tech. Blood sacrifice to the OC gods. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Well, this thing is not going to oversaturate your AIO, and you'll actually get higher clocks on it. So if you want to be ultra accurate, you can jerry-rig torque analyzer, probably be even closer depending on the measurement limits. As I said, though, electrician's torque screwdriver. I want one digitally, because I actually have an analog one, but I just don't like it. I could have used it for to be honest, I could have used it for the Threadripper. I didn't even think about that. My first computer back in '95 had Delta fans in it. Yeah, but were these like 7K? We used to call them finger choppers. It was funny too, because like if we had meetings or like a OC meetup and stuff, you could always tell the guy that brought the Delta fan, because you're turning that shit up. You need to put like headphones on, because it would annoy the hell out of you. All right, so let's go into the OS. All right, we're running a little bit late on this one, so we might have to kill it soon, because to be honest, dude, guys, I'm exhausted. Staying up to 2 a.m. last night on the water. 12 hours on the water was a little bit too much for me, to be honest. I woke up at like 11 to 12 o'clock today. I didn't get to bed until like 3 in the morning. And I woke up at around 11. So I got about 8 hours. I guess 8 hours. It's more like 7 hours. But man, today I was like, oh, so tired. I didn't know if I was going to have all this energy for the stream. But it looks like I did anyway. So, but yeah, this is pretty cool. I love my ice giant. So pretty. You guys are funny. Back in it, whoa. See, you can make things fly with Delta fans. Yeah, like your fingers fly off. Slacker, how about a basic guide where you go with how to isolate boards or GPUs and stuff, man? Would be really cool content for the channel. A basic guide with going to isolate boards or GPUs. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by isolate. If you want to explain a little bit, I'm always down, man. It's very hard doing YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. Coming up with stories, right? Like when you want to do videos and stuff, you always want to make it into a story. So it's a little bit tough sometimes. You'll get a block when you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Nothing sounds right. And I always want to do something cool for you guys. So, I don't know. Give me all the ideas. I'll just basically roll them up and you know what? You can, let's see, Slacker Hire. I just got here. Is that a rat or one of those monster heat siphoner things? Jordan, this is funny. This is the Ice Giant cooler. This is a monster handling the 64 core beast. It's an amazing cooler. I highly recommend it. Buy it if you can. I don't even know if they sell them anymore. I think they all sold out. But I'm a huge fan. I mean, anything that can run 64 cores at 4.5 or 4.4 is insane. Like 64 cores, that's 128 threads. That's a lot. Oh, Joe puts baby in the corner. Am I back in the corner again? Spooky knock knock. Yo, what's up? EVGA number 1. I accidentally stuck my finger into a 5,000 RPM server fan and bled like someone. That's the crazy part. I've actually done that quite a bit. Like I always cut my fingers. I don't know what it is. It's because I got big hands. That's why. But yeah, I've split my finger open, and the funniest part is when you usually get a finger cut on these, like you'll get blood shooting up. It's like almost like a sprinkler. It's not good. Like you make sure you're not wearing favorite clothes that you like. You know. Says, have you considered that some people would watch anything you make just based upon your personality alone? To be honest, it's you know how many people tell me that? It's the funniest part. So the thing is I always just want to do, this is supposed to be fun, right? This is not something that I don't really care about money that comes with it. It's more or less, I don't know, I just want to make sure you guys like it. That's like, I think the whole thing with streaming and doing YouTube stuff is that people really don't get that we just really want you to like it. It doesn't matter if you like everything I do. I really want to make sure that you guys like it. So I want to take my time to do what I can to make sure that you guys like it, you know? Nice. All right. But it's unfortunate to say we got everything set up, but we're gonna have to drop the stream because I'm tired and I gotta work tomorrow. But you know what that means. That means we're gonna have another stream sometime this week. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. I've really been excited about this every 2-day thing because then I get like a Slack day, then a stream day. Slack day, then stream day. So why don't we say around maybe 12-ish on Tuesday? So, slackers. I think that will work. I don't respect that. I will be patient. Yeah, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it again on Tuesday. I don't know. So just in case, I'm not sure if I'll do it on YouTube or Twitch. Maybe we'll do both again. It depends how I'm feeling about thumbnails. Sometimes with thumbnails, I get these mental blocks. And it takes me forever to do one. So that's why Twitch is almost fun to do it. But I don't want to leave you YouTube guys out. To be honest, I love my YouTube fam. So the Slacker Army, we're just going to do both. We'll just make it like that. I'll spend some time tomorrow working on the thumbnail for Tuesday. And we'll play around. So, guys, Slackers, it was great for having you guys back again. This whole streaming thing has got me itching to do so much new stuff that I'm totally stoked about it. And there's a lot of stuff coming too. We're going to be doing that Matt Fields PC. I'm going to do a whole video series on that alone. We're going to be going up. We're going to go check out some racing too. And that's all going to be video stuff. I got some super ass killer plans. I'm back. I'm back with a vengeance. So, I'll see you guys later. Slacker out! Woo!